Good morning, students. Today we are going to study about motherboard. What is a motherboard? The motherboard is known as system board. The motherboard is the main circuit board of a computer. This is where you plug in microprocessor, CPU, RAM, ROM, and other parts. So one by one we are going to see the parts of the motherboard. The first one, CPU fan. Students, this is known as CPU fan. We can see here. And backside we can see this is known as heatsink. Heatsink mounting points. This one here. Processor fan we have and heatsink we have. This will make our CPU cool. Because when the computer ons, the CPU starts getting heat, and this fan keeps the CPU cool. Next, second one you have, here we can see this one, this part here. This is known as CPU socket. This area is known as the CPU socket. And we can see CPU also. CPU, which is also known as processor. Here we can see brain of the computer or heart of the computer. This one. This CPU will be inserted here in this CPU socket here. Next, we'll keep this one side. We have PCI slots. So students, you can see here PCI slots here. Actually, what is the use of these PCI slots? So sometimes these are known as onboard. Here we can see these are known as onboard connectors. Here, example, you can see from here. We can see mouse and keyboard socket or connectors. Then we have the display, monitor display connector, ports. These are the ports. USB ports we can see here. These are the LAN. This is known as the LAN port, and these are the sound ports. So these are all onboard ports. Sometimes onboard ports will not work. That time we will purchase the card and we will insert in this PCI slots here. Next we can see CMOS battery. Very important. This also CMOS battery. We can see this. With the help of this CMOS battery, we will get date and time. Next, we have the RAM slots. Here we can see. We have two slots here. Two RAM slots are here. We have one RAM here. This is known as the RAM. We can see here. Random access memory. In this motherboard, we have two slots. Next, we have, here we can see this one. 20-pin ATX power connector. Here we can see this one. 20-pin ATX power connector. Here we can see here this one, IDE connector. This is known as the IDE connector. Here we can see SATA ports. Here we can see SATA connectors. This is about the motherboard. Thank you, students.